Hello and welcome to the Affiliate Website Masterclass. I'm your instructor, Dom, and I'm going to show you how to build an affiliate marketing niche website. I've been an affiliate marketer for the past 4 years, full-time for the last 2. I've built a couple of these websites, and I think a lot of people still don't know they exist. So I want to take this video and kind of explain the overall strategy behind niche websites and kind of what a niche website is. But in case you're completely green and have no idea what affiliate marketing is, here's a quick rundown. Affiliate marketing is basically when you take an offer, usually a product from a well-known company, and you place it in front of a specific audience using a unique link. Your links as an affiliate are unique so that the company that you're referring people to know that the customers came from you specifically. Now, when somebody that you refer goes through your link and buys a product, that company is going to pay you a commission. That commission is usually anywhere between 5 and 10% for physical products and somewhere between 40 and 60% for digital products. And this is not something that's new. In fact, many well-known brands have affiliate programs that just about anybody can sign up for. So let's hop into my computer real quick and I'll show you some examples of well-known affiliate programs. All right, so we're here on my computer. We're on Amazon.com, the world's largest online retailer. And actually, if we scroll all the way to the bottom of this page, you'll see right down here, there's a little link that says become an affiliate. We're going to click on this, and this will take us over to the Amazon Associates program, which is Amazon's affiliate program. And just like I explained before, once you sign up, you're going to get a unique link. You can then recommend products from Amazon. And when people buy, you'll earn up to a 10% commission on the sale. And it's not just Amazon that does this. If you hop on over to Target's website, Target has a similar program, except they pay up to 8% commission. Same thing with Best Buy. Best Buy also has an affiliate program that you can sign up and you can earn. And it's not just the big box general store retailers either. If you're into outdoor stuff, Bass Pro Shops also has an affiliate program that you can join. And I could go on forever. There's thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of affiliate programs in every niche that you can think of. Now, there are many strategies that people use to get their affiliate links in front of their potential customers. A lot of people just post them on social media. Some people start a YouTube channel. Others start a podcast. I mean, the strategies are limitless. However, few strategies offer the passive income the way that a niche website does. A niche website is something that we can build once, and then once it's producing revenue, we can walk away from it and let it produce revenue pretty much forever. And this program is going to teach you how to build that type of website. These websites are usually very small, somewhere between 20 and 30 articles, and they target a very specific niche, sub-niches actually. So for instance, if we wanted to do something in the food category, we're not just going to make a general food site because we're going to be competing with every single Food Network site out there. So instead, we're going to get really, really specific, and we're going to do something like football snack helmets. You've probably seen these before, and there's a website dedicated to nothing but that. Take a look here. I know that this website does about $2,500 a month in revenue. This website talks about nothing except those little football helmets that you can put snacks in. And you've definitely seen these before. You see, if I go on the website here and I click choose my team, it's going to take me over to Amazon and have a little football snack helmet. If I end up purchasing that helmet, the person who owns the website is going to earn a commission on the sale. Let's check out another niche. Let's say something like cleaning. You don't want to go into the cleaning niche. You want to go all the way down to, say, vacuum cleaners. This website is called vacuumsguide.com, and they talk about nothing but vacuum cleaners. And if you come down here, it's the same thing. They talk about vacuum cleaners, and if you click on one, it'll take you right on over to Amazon where you can buy that vacuum cleaner. If I end up buying the vacuum cleaner, that person earns a sale. As you can tell, you can apply this strategy to literally any niche, and in fact, the more strange and mundane, the better, because there's less competition. When there's less competition in the space, it's easier to get traffic, it's easier to make sales. And once you figure it out in one niche, you can take the skills and apply it to any niche that you want online. You could make a vacuum cleaner site, a football snack helmet site. I saw a site about water filters. I mean, the possibilities are limitless. Car parts is another one, but not just car parts, transmission oil coolers. Again, we're looking to get very, very specific here with these websites. Now, in the next video, I'm going to talk about the actual anatomy of a website and the parts that we're going to be building specifically. I wanted to use this video as just a general overview and strategy of what we're doing. So now you know what we're going to be doing. On the next video, you'll learn about what we're going to be building. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. This video is just going to give you a broad overview as to the strategy and just kind of how everything fits together in a nice visual representation. I know I'm going to start talking about domain names and hosting and pages and posts, plugins and themes. This video is going to kind of show you how it all fits together. And I'm going to use a cool analogy that we're going to be building a house because that's exactly what we're doing. So let's head on over to my computer and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so we're here now at a blank canvas for our business. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pick up a domain name. Now your domain name will either match your brand name, or you can just use your name at a .com address. And all a domain is it's just a web address. This tells people where to find you online. A domain name by itself is not a website. It is literally like a mailbox in a void. There's nothing there, but it tells people where to find you. That's why we have to pick up hosting. Web hosting is like the plot of land that we're going to be building our house on. You can get web hosting from a number of different companies, but then once we have a domain and hosting set up, we're now able to build our website, build our content, actually put our house there. So now when we tell somebody to go to our address, they pull up to the address, pull up to the mailbox, and there's a nice, really cool looking house sitting there. But the house itself is actually made up of a bunch of different parts. Again, we're going to start with a blank slate. And the first thing after we get our hosting set up is we're going to be installing WordPress. Okay, WordPress is like the framework of that house. This is just what your website runs on. And exactly, it's just like this. It's like the 2x4s that give you the same general shape of the house. After we install WordPress, there's going to be a theme that we install. Now, our WordPress theme is just basically a set of rules for all of our posts and all of our pages to follow, so that way they all look the same. It's almost like putting the siding on your house to give it kind of a vague shape. But we're not quite there yet in terms of having a house that's ready to go into. Then we're going to create some compliance pages. Now, these compliance pages, there's a handful of them. They're kind of like that important binder that you keep either in your office or in your utility room somewhere. It has all the manuals to all the appliances. It has everyone's important records, birth certificates, passports, kind of that folder that sits and you never really touch it unless you need it. These are things like your privacy policy, your affiliate disclosure, and your contact us page. You create them once, you stick them away in a corner, and they really never get used again unless someone asks for them. We're then also going to install some plugins. Now, plugins are like the utilities in your house. Every one of them has a certain purpose that's going to benefit the website, much like utilities benefit the house. So we're going to install plugins that are meant to speed up our site, ones that are meant to help us rank better in SEO, and I'm going to go through each one as we set them up. But that's like putting in your hot water heater, putting in your furnace, your air conditioning unit, all those things that kind of run in the background and make the site or make the house that much better. Plugins are going to run in the background and just make the site that much better. Most people are going to be completely unaware that most of them exist. Once we've done all that, we've put up our framework, we've covered it in a basic shape, we've put all our reference material together, and we've installed all of our utilities, we're then just going to have a blank website that we can then furnish with our posts and our content. That's going to be our images, our articles, our videos if we want to put them up there, podcast episodes if you want to host them up there. That's really just like the furniture and the decorations inside the house. That's going to be the last thing that we do, and that's going to be the thing that's on you to keep going after the program ends. I'm going to walk you through all of the setup, but it's going to be on you to keep writing and creating the post and content if that's what you want to do. So hopefully that helps you understand how everything fits together when we're building a website from scratch. In the next lesson, we're actually going to buy our domain name, and then we're going to go from there, building a website. Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pick up a custom domain name and keep all of your information private so no one else can see it. So without any further ado, let's hop right into my computer. I'll show you how to do it. All right, guys, we're going to head on over to Namecheap to pick up our domain, and there should be a button somewhere below this video where you can head on over to the screen. That way you can follow along. And we're going to be using Namecheap for our domains for a couple of reasons. Number one, as the name implies, domains are very cheap over at Namecheap. And number two, they offer free privacy protection with every single domain. Without the privacy protection that Namecheap offers, your name, phone number, and address are going to be out on the internet for everyone to see. This typically leads to a lot of spam calls from web developers trying to sell you different services, and they really don't stop once they start. Ask me how I know. At this point, I hope that you have a brand name picked out for yourself. If not, just grab your name as a domain and build a personal brand around the website, because it's always better to just start and kind of fix the mistakes later as you go, as opposed to worrying about everything being perfect and suffering into analysis paralysis and not taking any action at all. All right, so to get started over at Namecheap, we're going to go right in, click on this big search bar, and type in our brand name. Once we've done that, we're going to hit search. Now, you should always look to grab a .com web address whenever you can, and here's why. When people start to remember your brand name or they think about your website, they're naturally going to put .com anyway. Now, after our first search, it looks like superawesomebrandname.com is available. Kind of assume that it would be. But what if you go to find a .com web address and ends up not being available? So let me show you an awesome tool that Namecheap offers for free that can help you find a brand name that's available. So if you get to this screen and any web address that you have typed in is not available, there's a little red button up here that says Beast Mode. I want you to click that button and go into Beast Mode. Now, what Beast Mode is going to do is Beast Mode is going to allow you to enter keywords that you want to target, and then it will auto-generate hundreds of domains that are available. Now, to get started in Beast Mode, you're going to enter up to 5,000 domains or keywords up here. You really only need 4 or 5. If you try to enter 5,000, you'll be here a week. But let's say you're in the health and fitness space, right? Something like healthy, something like diets, something like, say, keto, something like fat loss, and another keyword. Let's go body. Why not? So we've got 5 keywords in the health and fitness space. Now, when you come down here where it says price range, we're going to set this. I like to set this down to about $20. And that's because if you're in a competitive space like health and fitness and you end up having a very valuable keyword as a domain, sellers will charge a premium over the typical $9 a year. I've seen them $1,000, $5,000. I've seen domains go for about $20,000. Now, if you've got a budget and want to spend $20,000 on a domain name, go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. I personally wouldn't. All right, so now that we've set our price range, we're going to come over here on the right side, and we want just .com addresses. So we're going to come down here, and you see this little cloud here that says com. We're going to click that, so now it's only going to be .coms. Over here where it says transform, what I'd like to do here is I like to go pluralize nouns. What that's going to do is that's going to add an S, so if you go to diet, it'll go to diets, or body, it'll be bodies. And then the last thing I want to do here is append, prefix, and suffix. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to add little filler words to the beginning of your domain and different suffixes to the end. Now, when you're using these, just make sure that they make sense in your domain name. So, for instance, if we're going to use diet.com, dietly doesn't make any sense, so we're not going to use that suffix. So again, in our health and fitness example here, Lee probably doesn't make sense. Labs, hub, HQ, I'm going to keep HQ on there because if you want to be the diet, the weight loss HQ, we'll leave that there. And as far as prefix, open, use, get, everything I think but meat might make sense. So now that we have all of our settings here, we're going to click this big generate button here on the bottom. Now this is going to start to generate all the available domain names. It might take a few minutes. Now, after it's been run, especially, you can see the health and fitness space is very competitive, and you can see that most of these domains have already been registered because they're grayed out. So, for instance, gethealthy.com, 1995 it was registered. Healthy.com was 1994. I mean, some of these have been 20 years. 20 years ago, we had no shot. So, we're going to come down here, and we'll see the ones that are available. So, for instance, tryfatloss.com, usefatloss.com, trybodies, again, might not make sense. Openbodies.com, not really. Bodies HQ might attract a different audience than you're looking for. So basically what you want to do is you want to scroll through these different domains, find one that makes sense, and then we're going to end up purchasing it. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to use tryfatloss.com. We're going to click add to cart. We're going to go view item, and we're going to start the checkout process. Once we get to the checkout page, you'll see that it defaults to a 1-year registration. I typically leave it at 1 year. Unless it's something like my name, you can commit up to 10 years and you'll just pay $8.88 per year. So a 10-year registration would run you just under $90. Now, I always check the auto renew button because the worst thing that can happen is that you spend a year building a brand, building equity, your site starts to blow up, you forget what day you bought that website, it expires and somebody else purchases the domain. That would wipe out a year's worth of hard work all because you forgot to check a box. On the flip side, if you check that box, you spend a year working on your site and it doesn't really catch on. You kind of give up, you kind of forget about it, and then a year from now, you get an email from Namecheap saying that it renewed and you're out $9, you got to cancel it. Big deal. After you've checked that box, you want to make sure the domain privacy is enabled and it's auto-renewed because it's free forever. This is the box that you need to check so that none of your private information gets out there in the world. After we're done here, we're going to scroll down the page. All of these things, web hosting, SSL, VPN, WordPress, professional email, pass on all of them. We're going to pass on them all because we're going to set up either free alternatives or better alternatives later on in the course. After that's done, we click confirm order. And if you don't have a Namecheap account, you can just sign up and create one here on the right side. I already have a Namecheap account, so I'm going to log in using my own. After you configure your account, you should be taken to a screen like this with the Whois contact information. You want to make sure that this is all correct. Make sure all your credit card information is correct, billing address is correct, and then again, make sure that all of this box right here is checked. Automatically renew all eligible purchases. Get domain registration, domain privacy, everything. When that's all done, come down here, click continue. You'll be taken to the order confirmation screen. Again, free domain privacy, domain registration for 1 year. Payment details are all correct. And then you hit pay now. And once you hit pay now, you then own your domain name. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. In this video, in this lesson, we're actually going to pick up our hosting and set up our hosting for our content site. If you remember from the website anatomy video, hosting is the dirt on which we're actually going to build our business and build our website. Now, we're going to be using HostGator as our hosting software because it's very inexpensive and it's very beginner friendly. So below this video, there's going to be a button that will take you right over to HostGator where you can actually follow along for the rest of the video. Let's hop into the computer and get to it. Okay, so we're here on HostGator's website. You should be seeing this screen or something similar. And to really just get started here with HostGator, they have this big yellow Get Started button, which we're going to click on there. Now that's going to bring you here to HostGator's pricing page. And on this page, you'll be able to actually pick your plan. And there is absolutely no reason to get anything more than the hatchling plan if this is your first business, your first affiliate business. This is really all you need. Single website. Now, in addition to being very beginner friendly, I've also chosen HostGator because they give you this. It's a free SSL certificate. Now, if you go onto a website and you see the HTTP // that is a non-secure website. If somebody goes on their phone and they go onto that, they'll get a big warning that says, hey, your website's not secure. And a lot of people will actually click back off. That'll hurt your conversion rate. To get the HTTPS type website, that's a secure website. Your website will need an SSL certificate, a security certificate. And HostGator includes all of these with their plans. So we're going to go here. We're going to click Buy Now, get the hatchling plan. Now the question you're probably wondering is, hey Dom, why did I not get the 1 year of free domain from my HostGator plan? And the reason is you never, as a rule, you generally don't want to buy your domain and you're hosting at the same place. Over time and as your business grows, you may want to change your hosting platform to something maybe dedicated, something a little bit faster, something a little bit more expensive. And if your domain and your hosting are bought from the same provider, it makes it very, very hard to do that. So up at the top, here we go. I already own this domain. And what you would do now is you would actually add your domain that you've bought from Namecheap in this line. Now I'm actually building a website as I'm creating this program. So I'm going to name I'm going to bring in the domain name that I've previously bought from Namecheap myself. When we come on down here to our hosting plan, I'm going to recommend that everyone go on the hatchling plan because again, if it's your first website, it's your first business, there's no reason to get too fancy. And now here as far as a billing cycle. Now, with host, unlike with your domain registration, with hosting, you actually get a bulk discount if you commit up front. Now, this is something that HostGator does. I'm not a huge fan of it, but you'd see that they commit you to 36 months at $275 a month up front. But if you do the math and you come down here, they want a $156 order. Again, if you have a budget that allows it and you want to commit to it for 3 years, great. I don't want to stop you. But if you're just starting out, commit to 1 month. 1 month, $10.95, that's it. You'll also want to come down here, create your HostGator account, enter your billing info. After you've filled in all of your information above, you're going to come down here to the additional services and you're going to uncheck the site backup and uncheck Site Lock Essentials. Now, this might seem silly at first because why would you want to not back up your site and why would you not want to secure it? Well, we're actually going to find other tools that are free that do the same thing. Down here, sometimes you can find a coupon code or not. You can probably just do a search. I'm not sure when you're actually viewing this. Now, if you come down here, based on all the changes that we made, that what was a $156 order is now only an $11 order. Now, I'm going to go in, fill in my information off camera, and I'll meet you guys on the next screen. Okay, so after we have everything filled in, we're going to click the Checkout Now button. It's going to take you to this loading screen while they set up your account. After your account is finished getting set up, you'll see this screen, which is your dashboard inside of HostGator. In the next lesson, we're going to set up our custom email addresses. There's a couple of email addresses that we need to get set up, and I'm going to show you the reasoning and the strategy behind it before actually going in and showing you how to create them click by click. So let's hop into my computer. I'll show you how it works. So first, let's answer the question as to why we need a custom email address. The first reason is that it makes your business appear more professional. Now, if your customer got an email from someone that was like, hey, Cash Money Killing the Game 69 at Gmail, do you think they would even open that email? But if they got an email from yourname@yourdomain.com, it's, hey, this guy must be legit. They took the time to build a real email address. They took the time to build a real business. Let me open up their email. And again, in that same vein, have you ever gotten an email from an actual legitimate business that used a Gmail address, especially one that was based online? The second reason to create a custom email address is that they build trust with your customer. I mean, it just shows your customer, it shows your prospect that you actually took the time to create an actual custom email address. Typically if someone's dealing with a scammer, scammers just do as little work as possible just so they can basically keep running the scam. So again, by having a custom email address at your domain, you'll appear more legitimate, you'll build more trust with your audience. And the last reason is to get around spam filters. Now, there's a couple of technical reasons, I won't get into it, but typically email providers like Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Comcast.net, they don't like to see marketing materials come from regular email providers like a Gmail. So if you send something, an affiliate marketing email from a Gmail account, Gmail will know that and they'll just send it right to the spam folder. They like to see marketing materials come from custom domains. So without getting too technical, I'm going to leave it at that, but having your own domain does allow you to get around spam filters most of the time. And now let's talk about what email addresses that we need to create. Now we're actually going to create a couple of them, and this is a method of pre-sorting your email. As an affiliate marketer, as an online business owner, you will get hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. That's no joke. I mean, I wake up every morning to at least 35 or 40 emails, and they just keep coming in throughout the day. So what we do is we create certain email addresses to help sort that mail as it comes in. The first one we're going to create is yourname@yourdomain.com. For instance, I use dom@thedatapreneur.com. I use this for all of my content. I use this all of my customer interaction emails. If someone wants to email me, I give them that email address. This also gives your customers a feeling that you're very approachable. I mean, imagine if you had, Russell at clickfunnels.com. You had that email address. I'm sure it's not that one because you'd probably get 100 spam emails a day. But when you're small and you're starting out, people want to get engaged with you. All right, they're buying into you, not your brand, at least in the beginning. So by having that email address, again, you're bringing yourself closer to the customer, and it gives them a sense of, hey, I can email this guy whenever I want. It's going to go directly to him. The next email that you're going to want to create is support@yourdomain.com. This is the email that you're going to hook up to your help desk if you're using Kartra. And if you're not, you're still going to set this up because this is where you're going to direct everyone to have their questions. That way, if you go in and you check this email address, it's just going to be nothing but questions, and you're going to be doing nothing but helping people in that particular inbox. This next email address is probably going to be your most crowded. This is going to be vendors@yourdomain.com. And this is the email address that you're going to use when you sign up for all of your tools. This is going to be things like your funnel builder, your email service, any editing software you use, really anything that you buy for business purposes. And that's because when you sign up for these services, you're going to end up on their marketing lists, and they're going to send you a lot of marketing email. If you use your main email, it's going to clog up your main inbox, and sometimes maybe a customer question is going to go missed. So you set up this vendor's email and just know that that's going to be filled with a lot of marketing junk mail. The next one that you want to create here is info@yourdomain.com. And I use info specifically because I only use it in a couple of places. You'll use it on your contact page, on your privacy policy, on any disclaimers that you have, really any legal disclosures. That way, if you get an email to your info email address, you know that it's something important. And it doesn't get buried in the vendor's inbox, or it gets buried in your name email. Again, just a way of kind of pre-sorting your stuff and keeping all of the important legal stuff elsewhere, because somebody who's going to email that specific address is going through your fine print. And typically, only lawyers and regulatory bodies actually go through the fine print. And there's actually one more email address that I want you to create, and that is emailswipes@yourdomain.com. Now, as a marketer, as an affiliate, you're going to want to see how some of the top affiliates write their emails. And the easiest way to do that is just basically join their list, opt in, and wait for them to send emails to you so you can kind of see how they structure them, the kind of stories that they tell, and you can learn a lot from just being on somebody's email list. And again, in the spirit of pre-sorting, we want to set up a separate email address just for this, because this one's going to get a lot of mail, and we don't want it clogging up your phone notifications throughout the day. So if you use emailswipes@yourdomain.com, you can opt into people's lists and then just check it once a week to see if you want to get inspired on how to write an email. This is something I didn't do, and I realized this after probably opting into about 20 lists, that now I just get a bunch of marketing mail and my email's all clogged up. So I spent two days unsubscribing and then resubscribing to people's lists, and now my inboxes are much cleaner. But now that we're done with the strategy, let's hop on over to HostGator and actually set these up. Okay, so we're going to hop on over to portal.hostgator.com. And again, below this video, there should be a button you can click to hop onto HostGator, and then go down here. We're going to sign into our HostGator portal. All right, so when we log into HostGator, you're going to see a screen that looks just like this, or something very, very similar, and it's going to show your website here at the top. Now, I have multiple websites, so I actually have multiple sections here. But at the bottom here, you're going to see yours. We're going to click Launch cPanel. Now, this is your control panel. It's going to work all the back end in your website. Now, it doesn't really matter who you use to host your website. Your cPanel is going to look more or less the same among hosting providers. But to add an email address, we're going to, up here in the email tab, you're going to click Email Accounts. And that's going to bring you to this screen where you can actually see all of the email accounts that you have. Over here on the right side where it says Create, we're going to click here to create. And then we're going to go at thecarpentrycorner.com, which is going to be my new website. We're going to create a password for it. Make sure you create a strong one. And then if you open up the optional settings, you can select storage space for this particular inbox. Since I'm creating the info inbox, I don't expect to get a whole lot of mail there, so I'm going to limit it to 500 megabytes. If I'm going to do something like the vendor's account, I would click this to be unlimited. And then again, automatically create folders. We can do that as well. And then we can also, again, send a welcome email to set up instructions for a mail client. This is if you wanted to hook your email up to your phone, which I'll show you how to do as well. We just click create, and here we are. And now we actually have another email account created with our website. So we're going to go through and we're going to create again. Optional settings. Since this is the vendor's account, I'm going to go unlimited. Leave the folders, send the welcome email, that's fine, and create that. Once you've actually created all of your email accounts, you're going to want to go in here and say where it says check email. This is actually going to be how you log in to check the emails themselves. Now you can change your email client between Horde or Roundcube. It doesn't really matter. I just use Horde because that's what they used 3 years ago, and I've gotten used to it. You can use Roundcube. It doesn't really matter. That's just going to be the interface that you check your emails in. So once you go here, open up your inbox. Now this is going to be your email. What I recommend doing is bookmarking this page. This way you'll have something either on your favorites tab or in your bookmarks. All you have to do is just click on it and it will open up your email. You'll probably be prompted to put an email address and password in, but you won't have to go through, log into HostGator, log into cPanel, open up email accounts, check email. This way you'll just be able to open up one page and then enter an email address and a password and you're in. If you want to set something up on your phone, there are easy instructions. If we come back here over to this page and you click on where it says connect devices, this will give you all of the manual settings for your mail client. Okay, so what I've done now is I've actually mirrored my phone screen so I can show you where to actually input all of this information over here. We're going to pull down from the top. I'm an Android user. It's going to be similar if you're an iPhone user. So I go into the settings here and we would go into accounts and we would go down here to add account. And then what you would want to do is you would want to add an IMAP account. Now, the difference between an IMAP and a POP3 email account, without getting too nerdy, is that a POP3 email account will check periodically and sync, every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes. An IMAP account will actually push constantly, instantly. If you get an email to your inbox, it will immediately push it over to your phone. So I always go to set up an IMAP. I'll click on IMAP, and then what's going to do here, it's going to want you to enter your email address. You'll enter your email address. You'll click next. It's going to ask you for your password. We'll go into that. Now your server here, do you see here where it says your incoming server? Right up here, incoming server settings, you're going to grab it off of the incoming server. We're going to click next. It's going to validate those settings. And now we're going to do the outgoing settings. I'm going to validate that as well. And now you're going to have the option to do, well, it says every 15 minutes. Hold on. Notify me when email arrives. Sync email for this account, automatically download attachments when connected to Wi-Fi. I like to leave them all on. We're going to click next. And now here it is. Name, next. So now if we go in there, now my email account has been added to my phone right there. I just click on here. And here it is. Now I can actually see all of my custom domain on my phone. And then you would just repeat that process for every email address that you want to hook up to your phone. So that's it. We now have custom email addresses. We can now start looking like a real business when we apply to affiliate programs and when we talk to our customers. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. In this video, I'm actually going to show you how to install WordPress onto your content blog site. And that way we can start building pages and posts and start filling out this brand new website that we're creating. Now we're working on a WordPress website because WordPress is pretty much the standard when it comes to websites around the world. Google likes it. It's very SEO friendly and they're very stable. WordPress websites can actually handle a lot of traffic, and there are an infinite amount of plugins and support that you can use that are compatible with your WordPress infrastructure. So with that said, we're going to hop on over to HostGator. I'm going to show you how to actually install WordPress on your website. All right, guys, so we're here back into our HostGator cPanel. I assume at this point that you know how to get to this screen. If you don't, just go back to an earlier video. I show you the whole login process. But once you're here, we're going to come down here into where it says software. Go to WordPress Manager by Softalicious. This is where we're going to be to actually install our WordPress. So we click on here, we go install. Now we're going to choose 5.7, which is the most recent version of WordPress. And then the installation URL, we're going to leave this here at secure. And then obviously we have our domain, and then the directory, we're going to leave that blank. If we put something there, we put something that says home, or we put something that says blog or something, in order for someone to hit our WordPress website, they're going to have to enter that extension. If you leave that blank, once somebody enters your website name, they're going to be taken to your WordPress website. So leave that blank. It's very important. I can't stress it enough. Site name, we're going to fill in the site settings, your site name. We're going to click that, just site description, enable the multi-site option. I'm going to leave that blank for now. Leave that unchecked. As we come down here to our admin account settings, you want to create a username that you can remember to log into your website. Now, for password, I like to use LastPass, which is, I'll leave a link below. It's a free password manager where you can generate these big, long, strong passwords, and you don't have to actually remember them because LastPass will. So I create my admin password. The admin email, this is something that ideally you want to put on your domain name. This is where they're going to send your password reset requests as well as your username. I forgot my username emails. So make sure that's in there. Language, I'm going to leave it here on English. When it comes down to plugins, I'm going to leave this blank because we're going to manually configure our plugins later on. Advanced options, I'm not even going to touch. We're going to keep everything here stock. When it comes to themes, you can use a free WordPress theme, but a lot of them are very slow. They're not very SEO friendly. I'm actually going to recommend Thrive themes later on in the course, but if you want to show a free theme, that's fine. Thrive themes you're going to have to pay for. Right now, I'm just going to pick one here that I think looks okay. I'm going to select that theme. You can spend some time selecting a theme. It doesn't really make a huge difference in your site. Once we have our theme selected, we actually set the email installation details. I always email a set just in case if I need to get a professional involved. The instructions are there. And I just go here and click install. And now we just let the software do its work. And now after everything's installed, you should see this screen here. I'm going to open this in a new tab. We'll show you what the website looks like. And then the administrative URL. This is going to be something that you want to bookmark because if you want to go in and post something and do any kind of back-end work on your site, it's your domain /wp-admin. I'm going to, again, open this up here in a new tab so I can show you. Okay, so I wanted to update you. When I actually went to my WordPress admin to kind of show you guys the next lesson, I ended up getting this screen. This is part of building a business. You will have errors. You will have things go wrong. I wanted to show this inside of the course. So what I did was I actually went onto my HostGator main dashboard and I contacted HostGator live support chat, and I actually got connected to an agent inside of maybe 5 minutes. They told me that because we bought our domain from Namecheap, we actually need to point our name servers to HostGator. Let me show you how to do that. I was going to do this in a later lesson, and we're going to eventually change them over to Cloudflare. But to get everything up and running in the beginning with HostGator's support, we have to point things at HostGator. So we're going to hop on over to Namecheap, go onto our account. And then on this screen under the Manage, you come down here to where it says Name Servers. Now, normally, it'll say Namecheap Basic DNS. So again, without getting too technical, these are domain name servers. Now, you want to go down here to Custom DNS, and you want to have HostGator's name servers in there. Now, without getting too technical, because you're on a shared plan, you might be on a different server than I am. I'm also on shared, but HostGator has a number of different servers. So to get the correct values to add here, I want you to go back into HostGator, start a chat, and then ask them where to point the name servers for your website if you get the message here for your WordPress not working. And now the worst part of anything online, setting up websites, is now you have to wait 24 hours for that change to take effect. So I'm going to pause here for the day. We'll come back tomorrow, and I will update you guys and let you know how it went. So it's the next day, and we want to check to see if that change in the name servers has actually propagated and that our site should be working correctly. So we're going to hop on into the computer and see what happened. So we're going to come up here to the search bar, type in our website. Let's see what pops up. So it looks like our theme has taken. Looks like our name servers are correct. This is the theme that we actually picked from HostGator. But now let's see if we can actually log in. The hashtag WP admin. All right, this is a very, very good sign. This is our WordPress login. Click our password that we have in. We're going to go to login. And it worked. So now we have WordPress successfully installed on our new website. I'll see you guys in the next video where we clean up all the stock plugins and we start to install things the right way. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to clean up all of the stock WordPress plugins and kind of give yourself a blank slate so we can build a proper website from the ground up. So let's hop into my computer screen and I'll walk you through the whole process. All right, guys, so we're here into our WordPress dashboard, and if you're unsure how to actually get to this screen here, you're going to go up to yourdomainname.com/wp-admin. That should take you to a login page where you put in your WordPress username and password that you saved from the last video. And when you come in, your page should look something like this. It could be overwhelming, it could be intimidating, but it's important to know most of this is really just ads and we're going to delete most of it. What happens is some companies will actually partner up with WordPress and they'll become these suggested stock plugin. They might not necessarily be the best, but it's a way for these companies to get leads and it's a way for them to actually, get sales. So we're going to clean this all up because we're going to use like 4 or 5 plugins rather than this whole mess that we have here. Our site's going to run better, it'll be faster, and you'll start to rank higher in search. So to start the whole process, we're going to come down over here where it says plugins, and we're going to click on installed plugins. It's going to bring us all the way down here. If you scroll down, now you see this is all of our plugins right now. Now we're going to deactivate and uninstall every single thing that you see with the exception of Akismet, I think I'm saying that right, and Jetpack. Everything else is going to go. All right, now that we have absolutely everything deleted except these 2 plugins, we're going to set up our Jetpack account. Now, what Jetpack does is Jetpack allows us to connect our HostGator hosted website along with WordPress.com. This is going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to let our posts and our site content show up on WordPress.com in the Reader app. And that should just bring us some organic traffic as people are going to get suggested our blog over time. What it's also going to do, it's also going to allow us to check our stats through the WordPress app on our phone. This way, it's an easy way to check stats, and it's very reliable. It'll tell us things each day, like how many people came through from search, how many people came in through Facebook, how many page views. It's a lot of basic stats that you're going to see in a very easy to read manner, much easier than you're going to see on Google Analytics. So let's hop back into the computer and let's get it all set up. All right, so we're going to be back in here, and we are going to click on this big green button. You should have it here that says Set Up Jetpack. Click on there. It might take a while to load. Okay, so what this is going to do now, I already have a Jetpack account that I'm going to actually set up and integrate here. If you don't, it's going to ask you to create a Jetpack account, and it's basic stuff. Your picture, your name, your email address, very, very simple things. I'm just going to approve my existing account here because I want to link this to my actual website. It's going to authorize there. Now, when it takes you to this page, I pass on all of the stuff. I come down here, and right here where it says Jetpack free, I click right onto here. And now it's going to ask us a little bit about our website, and it's probably going to make us another recommendation. Now, when you get here to related posts, I'm going to click on Not Now because we're going to use related posts inside of our Thrive themes later on. If you're not using a Thrive themes, I would definitely recommend having related posts turned on, because what that's going to do is that when someone gets to the end of your article, they're going to see other stuff that you've written. It's going to suggest them. They're going to stay on your site longer. That sends good signals to Google to also raise your site in search. So I'm going to click Not Now for now. Now, Creative Mail, this is again Constant Contact. I'm going to pass on this because we're going to use Thrive themes later on. When it comes to the Site Accelerator, I'm going to turn that on because a faster site is a site that's better for the user, and that's also going to raise you in search rankings. Now, I'm also going to recommend WP Rocket to speed up your site, but we're going to have this too because you can't have too many site accelerators. And once we get to this page, we're done. We can leave that. Okay, so once we're done with setting up Jetpack, we're going to set up the Akismet. We're going to set up the anti-spam plugin. So we'll come back here to plugins, installed plugins. And again, now we have Jetpack set up. Actually, something I like to do is I just like to enable auto updates because I don't like to be bothered with having to update things. Okay, so to set up our anti-spam plugin, we're going to come over to here where it says settings, click up here. And now that we already have Jetpack set up, we can simply just say connect with Jetpack. And it's that simple. Now we've actually have it set up because we're set up through Jetpack. Now, as far as The strictness of it, I like to silently discard the worst and most pervasive spam so I never see it. And these things are horrendous. Like, think every foul word you ever heard could end up in these comments. So I don't even want to see it. Get rid of it. And then as far as being GDPR compliant, I just display the privacy notice under your comment forms. Fair enough. Save the changes, and then we should be done. So now, just for good measure, we're going to go back to our installed plugins, and we're going to make sure that automatic updates are turned on for both. This is something that's going to go work in the background. We don't want to have to deal with it again. Now that automatic updates are on for both plugins, we have all the stock plugins deleted. We now have a blank canvas on a good WordPress site running correctly. Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to set up our subdomains, so when we eventually go to hook up our funnel builder and our tracking software, the work is already done. But before I just hop into my computer and show you exactly how to do it, let me explain what a subdomain actually is. Now, if you look up here, your domain name really is just your brand name plus the .com. Your subdomain is anything that goes in front of the main brand name. For instance, www is a very common subdomain, and typically it's the default that most people use. If you were to change this www to something like blog or something like G or K or whatever you want to, you can direct people to a separate website that's at the same address. For instance, you could have www.yourdomain.com be your main blog website, but your funnels could be located at, say, g.yourdomain.com or go.yourdomain.com. That's what we're going to set up in this video. We're going to create these separate little subdomains so that when we eventually get on our software, we can just hook them up without doing any additional work. So let's hop on over to HostGator and I'll show you exactly how to do that. Okay, so we're back here in HostGator. Again, portal.hostgator.com. Should be a button below the video if you want to go right into it. It'll bring up your main dashboard. We want to go ahead and we want to launch our cPanel. That'll take us over here onto our control panel. If we come down into where it says domains, if we come over here to click subdomains, we'll click on that. And this is where we're going to actually create a subdomain to add to our website. Now, the convention that I use is I use the subdomain of T for all of my tracking software, and I use the subdomain of Go for any of my funnels. So right up here in our subdomain, I'm going to just type the subdomain Go, use my domain name, and hit create. And it should show up right here on the bottom. And I'm also going to just type a single letter T, just click create, and it'll show up right down there. It's that simple to create a subdomain. So this is something that might not make sense right away, but I promise later on I'm going to come back to it. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to get a little bit nerdy for a second. That's because we're going to be speeding up and also securing our website for free using a service called Cloudflare. Now, this is probably the most technical part of the course, so I am going to go slow. I'm going to make sure that I can explain everything because if you do this wrong, your site won't work. So let's hop into the computer and we'll go through this process really slowly. All right, so we're in our machine and there's going to be a couple of tabs that I'm going to want you to open up so you have everything handy. The first place we're going to go is Namecheap. I'm going to put a button below the video that'll take you right there. And we're going to log right into our Namecheap account. Now, when we log into Namecheap, we want to go to account, go right to our dashboard. That's going to bring us to this screen. We're going to come down, find the domain name that we purchased and go here and click manage. Now, what we're going to do here is I want you to stay on this page, but what we're going to do is we're going to change our name servers one more time from HostGator to Cloudflare. What that's going to do is that's going to shift control of our website from HostGator over to Cloudflare. The next thing I'm going to want you to do is open up another tab and go to cloudflare.com. Click here, sign up, and create an account. It's pretty self-explanatory. However, I'm going to log into my existing account. Okay, once you get set up and you create an account over at Cloudflare, you should be taken to a screen that looks something like this. If you're not, just go up here and click on Home. It will take you to this screen. We're going to come up here to this blue button up here where it says Add Site. You probably only have the blue button. We're going to enter our site now. Enter the domain name that you actually got from Namecheap. Click Add Site. Again, there's going to be an upsell here. You're not going to have to purchase anything. We're going to do this down here for free. Click on the free plan and then click Continue. What Cloudflare is going to do then is it's going to scan all your DNS records. This is all going to come from HostGator. Don't worry, this is going to be all automatic. It might take a little bit of time though. While that's happening, I want you to head back on over to HostGator and I want you to log into your cPanel. We go to portal.hostgator.com. Again, I'm going to put a button below the video. You can click over to log you right in. Once you get logged in, you'll be taken to this screen. Click on for your website. Come down here and go launch cPanel. It should be an orange button. Now, while Cloudflare is doing its thing, I want to explain exactly what we're going to be doing here. So as it stands right now, your website, if you come down here to where it says domains, and you come down here to where it says DNS zone editor, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving control of this particular part from HostGator over to Cloudflare. Click here to manage, you'll see what I mean. If you look here at all these records pretty much tell the internet where to go. So if somebody types in, I want to go to mydomain.com, www, it'll tell them that, hey, this website is located over on HostGator. Or if I go to go.mydomain, this record will tell, hey, this is actually not located over on HostGator, it's located over on ClickFunnels. If someone sends an email to your domain, this tells you how to, how to redirect it. So this is all back-end stuff. Luckily, once we get this set up, it's only something we set up once, and then we can forget about it pretty much for the rest of time. But again, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the functionality here from HostGator over onto Cloudflare. So we're going to click back here to go back to our cPanel. And the thing I want you to write down and remember where it is on this right side here, which is general information. You should see the shared IP address. This is the actual address on HostGator where your website is. It's going to be different for every website. So just make sure you kind of keep that number handy. Okay, so after some time has passed, in this case, it was about 5 minutes. I came in and Cloudflare now found all of the DNS records over from HostGator. If you really wanted to go through it, you can go through all those records from the other screen of HostGator. You'll find them all in here. Now we're going to come all the way down here and we're going to click continue. Now to actually make the change, we're going to change our name servers. This way we're going to give Cloudflare the ability to control our website. So we're going to remove the name servers from name. We're going to hop back on over to Namecheap. And we're going to remove the name servers for HostGator and replace them with Cloudflare's. So we're going to copy this. There's two of them. Copy one. We're going to head back on over to Namecheap. We're going to do a paste there. Come back over to Cloudflare. Copy the other one. Come back to Namecheap. Paste that. And then click this little check mark and save it. And that's it. We're done. We're now telling the internet that control of our website now belongs to Cloudflare. That's how we're going to do all of our DNS records from now on. Now, you're also going to get a message at the top that says it might take up to 48 hours to take effect. This is just the thing about the internet that I can't stand setting up new websites. You have to sit and wait, so it may not be immediate. So let's hop back on over to Cloudflare, and we're going to come in and check our name servers. We'll click Finish later. And now let's check our name servers again. Still checking. We got to wait a few hours until this actually updates. Okay, so we're here the next day. We want to make sure that our name server change has propagated throughout the internet. It's a very, very easy way to check that. We're going to hop back on over to Cloudflare. I'll show you how to do it. All right, guys, so we're back here on Cloudflare, and we're going to look here at our website that we're looking to set up. And the way that you can tell whether the name server the name server propagation is taking place is if you head on over here to where it says DNS. We're going to click on over here. And we're going to scroll down. You'll see all of these. These are all the same DNS records that we had with HostGator, except now they're all on Cloudflare. On the bottom here, there's nothing here in the name servers that says that it's still being set up. So Cloudflare knows, and it's already said, hey, it's active. We're good to go. So that's it. Now we actually have all of our DNS control over at Cloudflare, and our site has an extra layer of speed. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to secure your site for free. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go from HTTP to HTTPS and secure your site using Cloudflare. This is going to be a pretty quick video because Cloudflare does make it extremely easy to do. But first, let me tell you why you would want to go to HTTPS. If you go to any reputable website, you're going to notice that in the beginning of their URL, they have HTTPS://. Now, the HTTP is the web protocol that they use. The S stands for secure. This means that all of the data that's sent is actually encrypted and just can't be seen by anyone. If you go to, say, a personal blog or something like that, or an older website that's not exactly tech savvy, they might still be running HTTP. It's an older protocol and it's not secure. In this day and age, if you're going onto an HTTP website, your browser, such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, pretty much any web browser is going to give you this big warning that's going to flash and it's going to say, the site you're entering is not secure. Do you want to proceed? Now, that's going to break a lot of trust with your customers on your website, and it's going to cause a lot of them to bounce. So luckily, Cloudflare makes it real easy to get that HTTPS for free. Let's hop into my machine. I'll show you how to do it. All right, guys, we're back here on our Cloudflare homepage. You should know how to log in by now. We're going to come in, click on our website that we're going to change. And it's very, very simple. If we come up here to the top where it says SSL TLS, click on that. And what this is going to do, it should default to full. Sometimes it'll be up here at off, which will give you that HTTP. And then if you go in down here full, Cloudflare is going to secure everything end to end, all the way from your website to your user's browser, because everything's getting proxied through Cloudflare. So yeah, as long as this is sitting here full, you're fine. You're good. Your site is secure. Your site is fast. It's that simple. If it's not, click this button and everything else will happen in the background. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about probably the most boring topic of the entire program, and that is coming up with your compliance pages that are required on every website, and this is something that nobody ever wants to talk about. This is the flossing of affiliate marketing. So stick with me through this video and let's make it through together. First, let's talk about why we need compliance pages in the first place. And it's for 3 simple reasons. We want to get our ads approved when we decide to run ads. We want to build trust with our customers that are on our website or on any of our landing pages. And this will also allow us to avoid getting shut down and banned from affiliate programs. If we have these pages on our website, it just brings our professionalism up a little bit more and brings us a little bit further away from the spammers and scammers of the industry. And there's really only 3 pages that you need. The first one is a privacy policy. Now, this is required by law for any business that's operating online, regardless of country. And this page tells your customer what info that you're going to be collecting, what you're using it for, and whether or not you share it with anybody. This is unique to your business. Do not rip this off from somebody else. There's a free policy generator linked below this video where you can go in and I'll show you how to use it, and you can make one unique, full of lawyer speak just for you. Do not copy your privacy policy from somebody else's business. I cannot stress this enough. This is something that needs to be unique to your business. And below this video, there's a free policy generator linked. So I will show you how to use it later on in the video. Just know that you can't just go copy and paste from somebody else. That's why I have it in all caps, and that's why I've said it 3 times in this video. The next compliance page that you need is an affiliate disclosure. This is required if you're going to be doing affiliate marketing of any kind. People need to know that you're getting compensated when they click your link. Now, this doesn't have to be a fancy page. It just has to say something pretty much to the effect that you'll receive compensation if they choose to purchase, but you also need to tell them that it doesn't affect the price that they pay. They're going to pay the same price for the product whether you're getting a commission or not. Keep it simple, write it in your own voice. I'll show you an example later on in the video. And the last page that we're going to create is a contact info page. Again, this is something that just gives you that extra level of legitimacy, and brands are more willing to work with you if they know how to get in contact with you. They are required for Facebook and Google ads. They build trust and legitimacy in your business. And at the very minimum, you don't have to put your phone number or an email address. At the very minimum, you need a snail mail physical address. But it also helps if you include an email address. Again, this just makes it easier for people to contact you. Now, I personally avoid placing a phone number, but if you want to answer the phone, there's no limit to a contact page, so you can actually have people contact you any way that you want. It's just important that you give people a way to contact you if they want to. Now, having said that, let's show you how to create each of these pages. We're going to head on over to WordPress, and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so we're back here on our WordPress dashboard, and we're actually going to put our compliance pages under our Pages tab. Now, if you remember from the Pages versus Post video, pages are something that's static and they don't move. That's why we're going to put these pages under Pages and not under Posts. So we're going to come over here. We're going to click on All Pages. Now, once you get into these pages here, you're not really going to see anything. If you picked a different theme, you might have something different. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. And I am just going to wipe them out. Move them all to the trash. And there we go. Now we have a clean slate. Now we're going to click up here and we're going to say Add New. And the first one that we're going to create here is going to be the contact page. It's going to be the simplest one to make. Okay, so this is really all we need to write for our contact page. If you have any questions or suggestions for the Carpentry Corner, we would love to hear from you. I have a mailing address and I have an email address. It's all it is. It's all I need. It doesn't have to be this big, long, drawn out thing. Now, before we hit publish, we come over here to permalink. And you see this URL slug? Make sure this says contact us or contact, whatever you want to say. What this is actually the last part of the URL up here. So it's going to be your domain name / this part here. And if you come down here, it's going to see here, it is thecarpentrycorner.com/contact us. Once we have that set up, we're going to close permalink. Discussion, I'm going to disallow comments. Make sure that box is not checked. Now, as far as featured image, if I want to make this a little bit special, we're going to head onto a website called pexels.com. And we're going to grab a stock image. Let's type in contact us. Let's see what happens. Now, since this is going to be in the woodworking niche, and I expect my niche to be mostly older men, so I'm actually going to take this little old rotary telephone. I'm going to download that. I'm going to use this as my featured image. Let's come right over here. Set featured image. We're going to select the files to upload. And now right here, I'm just going to change the old title here to be like old phone, something like that. And then just set the featured image. Now that we have everything there, visibility public, publish immediately. We click publish, publish. And now our contact page is live. We're going to click over here where it says view page. And if we look right now, our image is enormous and our text is down here, but don't worry, our theme is going to clean this up later on. Right now, I want you to just get these pages and get the text out there. So that way, when we optimize with our theme, there is something to optimize. Now we're going to head back on over to pages and we're going to do our affiliate disclosure. Now we just title our page affiliate disclosure, and then we're going to write out a simple disclosure based on the rules that I just told you. So here's what I've come up with. The Carpentry Corner may suggest products from time to time. These products may earn us an affiliate commission if you decide to purchase them. However, the price that you pay is not affected by the fact that we're compensated. We at the Carpentry Corner will only promote products that we believe in. Now, this is going to be a simple woodworking niche site. Now, I don't need to have any crazy affiliate disclosures in there. This will do. If you're going into something where you promote ClickFunnels, ClickFunnels has specific affiliate disclosures that they want to see on your website. Be sure to include them, and just do that for every affiliate program that you promote. You can put them on this page and you should be fine. But again, this is a very good starting point. Same thing, we're going to come here to our permalink affiliate disclosure, make sure there's no comments. And then for a featured image, I'm going to head on over to Pexels and we'll see what we can find. Okay, so after searching on Pexels for a while, I couldn't find anything that was free. Now, normally I would just buy a stock image, but an affiliate disclosure image that like 6 people is going to see, it's not worth $11 to me. So I went on another site that's a royalty-free image site called Pixabay, Pixabay, typed in disclosure, and I found this one here that says transparency. Yeah, it kind of works. It's close. Again, not too many people are going to see it, but it does kind of just add something to the page once we have our theme. So we're going to download that one there. And then we're just going to upload it. Same process as before. Same thing, public immediately. Hit publish, and we're done. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for sticking with me through the compliance section. I know it's getting a little bit long in the tooth, but I promise you only have to do this once. This video is now going to show you how to do the privacy policy using a tool called Termly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create kind of a zombie page inside of WordPress, then hop on over to Termly, create a policy, and then we're going to copy and paste. So let's head on over, show you how to do it. All right, so we're going to go back into WordPress, into our pages here. Click on Add New, just like we normally do. Simply just going to name it Privacy Policy. And then we're just going to hit Publish for now. Don't worry, no one's going to see your website with a blank page. All right, now that that's done. Once that's done, we're going to head on over to a website called termly.io. There should be a button below this video that'll take you right there. Now what this is a compliance page generator that allows you to get a couple for free. We're going to click here where it says try for free. And then what we're going to do here is we're actually just going to create an account. Now I created an account using email from my website that I just created. We're going to click on our first website. We're going to click got it. Where it says website name, we're going to put the name of your website. And then the URL, same thing, HTTPS. Now this is where things are going to get really boring and it's going to take a little while. I'm going to do a fair amount of this off camera just so that I can show you, because we're going to hop back over here on the screen. You're going to do, there's a couple things of general information. Then you have to do a bunch of settings. Then you have to answer questions on all these policies. And there's all these cookies. There's all kinds of questions that they're going to ask you. And it's going to take you about a half hour to get through. And again, I'm going to do most of this off camera because I think you know how to actually fill in a form with your own information. And the questions are pretty straightforward. All right, so after we create our Termly account, we're basically taken to this page where we're going to enter all of our business information. This is pretty straightforward. You're going to enter that into your business information, and then you're also going to enter your website info, and you're going to save it all. What this is going to do now when you go to create your privacy policy, it's going to pull from this data. Once you're done with that, you've created both your business info and your website info. You're going to come on down here to where it says policies, and you click on privacy policy. Now we're going to click here, new privacy policy. Add that. And now this is going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to do a lot of this off camera because there's 8 pages, but there's going to be multitude of questions on every page. It's going to ask you things, and I don't think you want to see, a half-hour long video of me just going through questions. They're pretty self-explanatory, and really it's going to depend on your business how you answer it. So I don't want to prime your head with answers that might not be accurate. So I'm going to come back on camera after I'm done through this. I'll kind of show you where to go. All right. So after you get to the end of all the questions, it took me about 10 minutes to get through, and we're going to hit publish. And here we go. Now we actually have our nicely professionally generated privacy policy here on the left-hand side. It tells us everything based upon how we answered the questions. All right. So now just to add this to your website, we're going to click up here where it says add to website. Grab the HTML format, copy it to a clipboard. And now what I do is I come into here for privacy policy. I add the block, and there should be one here for HTML. We click HTML, do a Control V, do a paste. And there it is. We're going to update our post. And now when we come down here to view page, it should show up right on our site. And here it is. Here's our privacy notice. So now when somebody comes up here to our domain/privacy policy, they're going to see our privacy policy. So there we have it. We have a compliant website. We've got our privacy policy, we have our affiliate disclosure, and we have our contact us page. You made it. Congratulate yourself. Most people skip this section. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. Welcome to a very exciting video module here, because this is actually where we're going to start setting up our theme, and we're going to start setting up all of the fun plugins for our website. We've already done most of the boring stuff. We've got our domain, we've set up our hosting, we've actually secured all of the back end. Now it's time to start adding a theme, plugins, and actually start creating some content on our blog, on our website. We're going to start getting found. So we're going to hop back into my machine, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to install Thrive themes so you can have a nice, clean, fast, professional looking website. Let's jump right in. All right, so now that we're here on the computer, I want you to head on over to thrivethemes.com. There should be a button right below the video where you can click on it. It'll take you right over to the website where you can actually go and pick up your copy of Thrive Themes. Now, the reason I recommend that you run a Thrive theme on your website is because it's inexpensive, it's high performing, and it's stable. I haven't had any problems with my theme since I got it a year and a half ago. I used to run free themes, and they would often load slow. It would horribly impact my Google rankings, and oftentimes plugins won't play well with free themes. But by jumping over to Thrive, you're getting more than just a WordPress theme. So you get a whole bunch of stuff on there, but the real things that I like and I recommend for is the Thrive theme builder, so you can actually have plug and play for your entire website. But you also get Thrive Architect. So if you want to individually design a page on its own, you can do that as well. Create some custom landing pages if you'd like. It lets you do kind of that granular page by page. But what I like most about Thrive is their Thrive leads. What this allows you to do is this allows you to collect email addresses from people who come onto your website. You can deliver your lead magnets, you can build an email list, and you can retarget to people who happen to stumble upon your site. So to get Thrive themes, we're going to click on this big orange button here that says Get Thrive Suite. And that's going to take you on over to this landing page where they're going to try to explain to you Thrive Suite some more. Feel free to watch this video if you want. But if you want to take my word for it, we'll click on this orange button here that says Get Thrive Suite. And this is going to take you right to a sales page where you can sign up for Thrive itself. Now, Thrive is $19 a month, but they bill you $228 a year. I'm on the yearly plan because it only takes one high ticket sale to pay for multiple years of your blog. Not to mention, Thrive allows you to install these tools on up to 25 websites. So if you get one website up and running, you can use the same license 24 more times for the same price. So we click the green button here, Buy Thrive Suite. So we're just going to fill out the checkout page. I'm already a member, so I'm going to go log in and show you how to install it on the website. All right, so after you've actually purchased Thrive themes and you're taken to the member dashboard, What you want to do here is click under this number 1 here, download the Thrive Product Manager plugin. It's going to download it right to your computer over here. And then we want to log in back to our WordPress website. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually add Thrive themes as a plugin. So we're going to come over here to the left side where it says plugins. I'm going to go here where it says add new. Give that a click. And then we're going to go right up here where it says upload plugin. Click there. Upload the download file. We want to upload the Thrive theme product manager. Click install. You're going to get this message here where it says activate the plugin. Click that if it's installed correctly, which it should be. And now we've got Thrive Product Manager on our list of available plugins, and you'll also see it here on the left side. Now what we want to do is we want to go over here to Product Manager, click on that, and it's going to ask you to log into your Thrive Themes account to actually access your product. Since you just created an account, you should have your login information handy. Now it looks like mine automatically married up, which is really cool. You might have to put in your username and password to get to this screen. Once you get into this screen, we want to grab Thrive Leads, Thrive Architect, and Thrive Optimize. Thrive Optimize is going to give you the ability to split test one way or another if you're building landing pages. Then we're going to click Install and sit and wait. After it's done, we'll click Go to Thrive Themes Dashboard, and we should see our installed product. We have Thrive Themes up top, Thrive Leads, and Thrive Architect. After doing all that, we want to go back to our Product Manager screen, scroll down a little bit, and see where the Thrive Theme Builder is. We want to click Install Theme and then Install again. This is going to give us access to the actual Thrive Shapeshifter theme, which we're going to build our website on. When that's all done and installed, we click on Activate Thrive Theme Builder. And now if we head back on over to our website, you'll see that it's a much cleaner layout. It looks a lot better than it did like the jumbled mess we had before. And that's it for this video. I want to keep it short and actionable. In the next one, we have a couple more plugins to set up. And once that's done, we can then start filling out our website with content. Hey, what's going on, guys? And welcome back. In this video, we're going to get our last couple of plugins set up, tuned up. That way our website is 100% up and ready to roll. So without wasting any time, let's hop back into our WordPress backend and we'll get started. All right, so back here in our WordPress dashboard, we're pretty much going to be working here in this plugins section. So we're going to go into here, plugins here on the left side, click Add New. And the first plugin we're going to look for is called Imagify. Now, what Imagify is going to do is going to compress all of your photos, and it's going to help them load better and faster. The biggest thing that slows down Google rankings, besides not having relevant content, is page load speed. Google knows that its users want to have pages load pretty quickly. And the biggest thing that actually slows web pages down is huge, beautiful images. What Imagify is going to do, it's going to compress them using some sort of code or magic, and it's going to make your page loads load much faster than they normally would without it. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to click Install Now. Once it installs, we're going to click Activate, and it should be right over here on our list of installed plugins. Now, just because we activated it does not mean that it's actually working yet. We're actually going to have to create an account with Imagify. It is free. They do have a paid plan once your site gets bigger, but when you're starting out, you can have their free plan. We're going to enter an email to create an account. After you've created your Imagify account, you should be taken over to this screen. I already have an account, so you can't actually watch me set up my account. But once you enter all of your information, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, there is a free plan that they have. But we're going to come up here to the top right. We need to grab our API key. So we're going to come over here on the right, come down to where it says API integration. We're going to click down here, and you're going to see your access token. It's going to be different for everybody, so don't give it away. That's why I have mine blurred out. We're going to copy that to the clipboard, come back on over to our WordPress website, click I have my API key, paste it right here, and click Connect. And now if we click over here, go to Settings, you'll see that we actually have Imagify settings and we can set this up. Now for me as an affiliate marketer and a business blog, images aren't that important to my website. I do mostly screenshots and stuff on my blogs. On the woodworking site, I'm probably going to do something similar, not so much screenshots, but they're not going to be super rich, detailed images. So I'm going to have Ultra, I'm going to set Ultra so I get maximum speed out of the website, even if the image gets a little bit grainy. Coming further down the general settings, I would leave everything pretty much the same. Now, what I'd like to do here is resize the larger images. You want to leave that checked, but you want to bring this number down. 2,500 pixels is an enormous picture. And large pictures will take a long time to load. Now, I want to bring this down, but you don't want to bring it down larger than your largest smaller than your largest thumbnail. So there's actually a recommendation right here of 2,048 pixels. So that is actually the lowest and the smallest that you can actually resize pictures for them to actually sound good, or to look good, I should say. Over here on the side, we can see if we add our theme. After we add our theme to our optimization, Imagify will start optimizing our theme images as well. Coming further on down settings, you want to leave this all the same. Now we're going to save changes. Now it's important to know if you do this before you add pictures, you won't have to do anything else. If you add Imagify after you have pictures on your website, you're going to have to do their bulk optimizer, which is then going to run through all the pictures on your website, and it's going to actually re-optimize them and compress them, make them smaller. That could take a couple of minutes. I had to do this on my other site, and it took me about 15 or 20 minutes for the software to work through everything on the site. So do this first and save yourself some time. All right, so the next plugin that we're going to install is called Rank Math. What Rank Math is Rank Math is an SEO optimized plugin. It's free and it blows Yoast out of the water. You may have heard of Yoast, you may not have, but basically what Rank Math does is once you figure out a keyword that you want to target with a blog article, Rank Math makes it very easy and it'll tell you how optimized you are, tell you what you need to do to optimize for that keyword. It's awesome. So we're going to hop back into our plugins, add new screen, go on over here and type in Rank Math. And it's going to be the top one here in the left with this little graph and the little bar graph line. Click install now. Then we're going to activate it. You always have to activate plugins after you install them. And there it is. There's nothing really to set up with Rank Math until you actually get into it. So we're going to go back to our plugin screen here and we're going to install the next plugin that we're going to install is called Really Simple SSL. What Really Simple SSL does is it's going to force all of your website traffic to go through the HTTPS protocol. If you remember from the Cloudflare setup and you remember from the HostGator setup, we do have SSL enabled, but it's not always going to go through there. At Really Simple SSL will force everyone to go through the secure server and not get that warning. So we're going to hop over here, click install now. Click on activate. And this is going to ask us to do a bunch of things to get our site ready. Since our site right now is barren, there's not much on there. We're going to click here. It just says go ahead and activate SSL. This is why we're adding all of our plugins before we actually put a bunch of content onto our website. And now if we head on over to our website again, if you look up here in the URL bar, you see this little padlock here. If we click that, it'll tell you our connection is secure and we're forced over SSL. It's that simple. The next plugin that I want to grab here is called Insert Headers and Footers, and this app is purely for convenience. If you wanted to, you could go in and you could edit the page code and the HTML code and put tracking pixels and all kinds of other tracking code that you want on your website manually. But if you're like me, I'm not a coder, you're probably not a coder. So what Insert Headers and Footers does, it allows you to insert, copy, and paste tracking code without having to be a coder. So when we're back into the plugins page, we want to type in insert headers and footers, and it should be this plugin right up here in the top left. Install and then activate, and then we should see it right over here. The next plugin that we're going to install is called WP Word Count. I like to use this just for stats. Now Rank Math will actually count the word count on each post that you do, but if you want, I just use it to compare my size of my site with some others. So if I want to quickly see, hey, I have a 100,000 word site, or I have a 60,000 word site, or a 400,000 word site, WP Word Count will do this in a matter of seconds. So we're going to go back to the install plugins page, type in WP Word Count, and it should be this one here in the top left. Looks like this. Click install, and then we activate, and it should show up. Where is it? Right down here. Everything here is active. Now these next two plugins that I'm going to have you install are, we're going to back up our site and we're going to make sure everything's compatible before any major updates. Don't worry, they're both free, but they're definitely something that you really should have on your site. So back to the plugins page. This is becoming our favorite page really quickly. And the next one that we're going to go for is called PHP Compatibility Checker. And then we should again find it here up in the top left. You're not going to use this plugin too often. This one here is just going to check all kinds of back-end text stuff on your website before WordPress updates. We're going to activate that one up there and you'll see it on the bottom here. Now this next plugin is arguably the most important on your entire website, and it's called Updraft Plus. This plugin is going to give you the ability to make regular backups of your website, so that way if you get hacked, HostGator goes down, for whatever reason you lose your entire website, you have a saved copy in a secure Google Drive somewhere. So let's go set it up. We're going to come on back here to our Add New Plugins page. We're going to go Updraft Plus in the keywords. And it's actually not going to be in the top left this time. It's going to be one more over right here, Updraft Plus Backup Plugin. Install now, and then we click Activate. And then once we activate it, it's going to ask you to set it up. We're not going to set this up just now. We have two more plugins to install, and then we can go in and set everything up. The next plugin that we're going to install here is called Blog2 Social. And Blog2 Social is a pretty cool plugin. What this does, this allows you to syndicate your blog content throughout the entire internet. So what you'll do here is you'll hook up all of your external social media accounts. You can start hook up Twitter, Medium, Facebook, Reddit, anything that you want. You can actually hook up to that, and with one click, after you write a post on your website, it'll blast it out throughout the whole internet automatically. We're going to install that, and then we're going to activate it. Again, same thing. It should show up right over through here. Now, the last plugin that we're going to set up on our website isn't actually available on the WordPress backend. It's called WP Rocket, and there's a button for it right below this video. If you click that button, you're going to be taken over to WP Rocket's website. So I'm going to head on over there. I'm going to head on over there now. If you click on that button, it's going to take you to this screen. Now, what WP Rocket does is it caches your website. So again, this is something also to increase page load speeds, which will ultimately increase your rankings, your traffic, and the money that you make. Now, WP Rocket is a paid tool, but it's very cheap. It's only like $39 a year. But in my opinion, the website traffic that extra speed brings is well worth the cost. So if we come up here, we're going to go right up here to buy WP Rocket. And as you see here, it's $49 a year for one website. We're going to click on that, enter all your information, and create an account. Now, I actually have an account. I'm going to upgrade to an extra website now. All right, so I just upgraded my WP Rocket subscription so that I can now show you how to install it. Basically, you just click this orange button here. It'll download the plugin file. Then we head back on over to our Add New Plugin page, and we click Upload Plugin. Choose the file. Then we choose the WP Rocket, and we just install. Once it gets installed, we have to click the Activate button. And then once it gets activated, we will see WP Rocket down here on the bottom. And now we have all of our plugins installed on our website correctly. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and set most of them up, everything but the theme. That way our website is running smoothly when we do start creating content. We can just forget about all the back-end stuff. Hey, what's going on, guys? And welcome back. In this video, we're going to set up all of the plugins that we installed in the last lesson. So if you haven't installed all of your plugins into your website yet, go back and do that, because if you don't, this lesson's not going to make any sense. So with that said, let's hop back on over to our website and start setting things up. All right, so we're back here on our WordPress backend, and we're going to go on the left side here. We're going to go to Plugins. We're going to go to Installed Plugins. And this is going to show us all the plugins that we already have installed. And then the first thing that I like to do is go right down the right side here and enable auto updates for everything. Now, I'm sure there's some IT people that want to slap me right now just for doing automatic updates, but I don't care. I want to do this to be passive, and I haven't had that many problems by going automatic updates. So we're going to come in. We're just going to click down the right side, enable auto updates for all, or at least everyone that we can. All right, so after we have auto updates turned on, we're going to just work down each plugin, and we're going to set them up. Now, Askemet, we did this in the previous lesson. Blog2 Social, we'll hop in here with settings. I'll show you how this works. First thing we're going to do here, we're going to set up our time zone. After we set up our time zone, we come over here to where it says Social Media Networks. So if you go over here, you'll see a list of all of the supported social networks. And then down here on this blue button, this is how you can connect them all. Now, I don't actually have any socials set up for this website yet, so I can't show you how to integrate them. But it's really as simple as just adding a profile, adding your username. Here, I'll show you. You literally just click Add Profile, log into the social network that you want to add, and then it will just link the two of them up. The last thing you can do with this plugin is you can actually set your time and check the best time to post, and you can set it so that it only shares when it's the best time to post. And then here you go, you can see this. It'll show you when over here, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's it for Blog2 Social. Coming back on over to our list of plugins, we've already done Imagify. Insert headers and footers. There really isn't much to do there. Jetpack we've already set up. PHP compatibility checker. We're not going to need to do that until we actually upgrade WordPress, which could be in a couple weeks, could be in a couple months, could be tomorrow. We don't know when WordPress updates come out. Rank math. This will be something that we use inside of our posts. Nothing left to do inside of really simple SSL. All the Thrive product leads, we're going to do this last. Okay, as far as WP Rocket is concerned, there's a couple little settings that we're going to have to go and change. So let's head on over to WP Rocket. And then right off the bat, you're going to see this little red thing up here that says Endurance Cache is currently enabled. It will conflict with WP Rocket Cache. So what we're going to do here, we can just click here at Settings General, or if you don't see this, right over here, Settings, we can click down here on General and go all the way to the bottom. You see the Endurance Cache. We're going to move this to level 0, save that, and then we're going to go right back to WP Rocket, and that's gone. The one thing that I want to do here is go down here on the sidebar in WP Rocket, click on Media, and we're going to turn Lazy Load on. What Lazy Load does is Lazy Load's not going to load the full web page right away. So if someone clicks onto your article or someone clicks onto your website, it's not going to load all the images until they actually scroll that far down the web page. This will help boost your site loading times and also boost your search rankings. So we're going to enable this for iframes, videos, and images. And now if you're using Imagify, you want to enable the WebP caching. If you're not using Imagify, you're probably not going to have this option. And then after we're done with that, we'll just hit Save Changes. And now WP Rocket is all set up. Now back on over to the installed plugins page. This is where we're going to set up our backup now. Hop in here and we're going to set up settings onto Updraft Plus. Now, once we get into Updraft Plus, we're going to click on the settings here and we're going to define where we want our site backed up to. Now, I like to set one up here daily. Set these up here daily. Now on the bottom here, these are just all different web-based storage. Depending upon whatever you have, you're going to set this up yourself. So I'm going to set mine up off camera because there's a little bit of passwords and personal information on there. But I'm going to go set up, I have a Google Drive. All right, after you've created your backup, you're going to be taken back to the screen. I used Google Drive, and now it's going to say, success, I've authenticated my Google Drive account, and now I have it set that every single day, my website's going to be backed up, so that way, if for whatever reason I lose my data, I don't have to start from scratch. There's one or two more settings that we need to set up before we can get to our theme. So now back into WordPress, we're going to go here to Settings, and then once we're inside Settings, we're going to come down here to Permalinks. Go down to Permalinks, and what this is going to do is this is going to change the default URL structure of your site. Now, it defaults to day and name, so it'll have your domain plus the date of the post / the name of the post. Google hates this. Users hate this because nobody cares what date the post was done. So if you want something for SEO and you want Google to recognize things easily, just come right down here, click Post Name. So now it's going to have your domain / your post, and that's it. Come down here, click Save Changes. And then the next thing that we're going to do is head on over to the Reading tab. And then on your reading settings, right here where it says for each post in a feed, include a summary. What this is going to do, if you leave it, it defaults to full text. If you leave it on the default at full text, when somebody clicks on a category on your website and they see, posts on a page, they're going to see the full post on that page. And you really don't want that because then your page is going to be 4 miles long. If you leave it to a summary, it'll shorten every post and it'll be more manageable for the reader. Click that, click Save Changes, same thing. And then the last one here we're going to come into here is discussion. We're going to go into that setting. Click on discussion. Now up here where it says default post settings, I discourage people from allowing to comment. I'm not going to allow comments on my website because I find that's where most of the spam ends up. People put some really crazy links, especially in the beginning before your site really has much authority. So for now, I'm just going to uncheck and disallow comments so people can't comment on my website. And then these are all comment settings, but if you don't allow comments, you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to come all the way down here, click Save Changes. I'm going to save the themes for the next lesson just to keep this one small and manageable. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up and configure your Thrive theme. That way your website looks nice and clean. So without any fluff, let's get right into the video. All right, so we're going to log into our WordPress backend here. And I'm going to assume that you already have your Thrive theme installed. If you haven't, go back to a previous video and install it, obviously. We're going to come down here to the left side where it goes into Thrive Dashboard. We're going to come into here where it says Thrive Theme Builder. Click on there. If it's your first time going into Thrive Themes, it should take you automatically to the Theme Builder wizard. If not, I'm going to show you how to get there to make setup very, very simple. So if you aren't taken to the Theme Builder wizard right away, you're going to see this little dashboard here from Thrive. We're going to click on Open Wizard here on the top right corner. And that's going to take us over to the wizard. Obviously, as you can see, I've already gone through the wizard and set up my site. But if you have it, you're going to go right up here on the left side, start up here with your logo, and you're going to work your way down the left side of the screen. So using a logo, you see here recommended size 250 pixels by 40 pixels. If you don't already have a logo created, hop on over to Canva, type in that custom size and work on a logo for the website. Keep it simple. Just have your brand name, a cool font that's not too hard to read, and pick one color and keep going. Do not get lost making a theme and a logo. So once that's done, you're going to upload there. The next step is going to be your main brand color. This is going to put it all over the website. Now, for selecting your brand color, you can do a couple of things. If you know the hex code to your color, you can put it right through there, or you can drag and drop using the sliders. If you have a color that you like, but you're not sure what the hex code is, here's a really cool Chrome extension that's free that's going to help you find it. That Chrome extension up here is called Colorzilla. See this little eyedropper up here? It's called Colorzilla. We click on it, and what it's going to do, it's going to be a little eyedropper. And then if you look up here on the top, any color that we have come across the page, it'll tell you all the color codes so you can exactly match it. So once that's done, you can actually select your brand color, click apply. Once you've done with your brand color, it's going to bring you into your site structure. All right, so Thrive Themes on my screen recording software is not playing well together. I can't show you the rest of the site builder wizard. So I'm going to skip this left side and go right to the next category. After you're done working your way down this list, you're going to come over here to branding with the color. Click on the theme colors. Your default color should pull over from the site wizard. And then your logo, same thing, should pull over from the site wizard. And your favicon is this little image up here at the top of your website tabs. You would upload them here. It's 140 pixels by 140 pixels. Again, my screen record software and Thrive aren't playing well, so it's not going to pull up my favicon, but that's actually where you enter it there. Coming down to typography, this is where you pick your fonts. When picking fonts for your website, keep it simple and keep it readable above all else. After you're done picking your fonts, you're going to come down here to templates. And this is actually where you're going to select the layouts for each of your posts. Now the templates here, default post, default page, and active homepage. These are the only real templates that you're going to have to really worry about. If this is your first time, when you click edit, it's going to ask you to choose from a bunch of different post layouts. I'm going to show you where to find them. If we go to add new, and we're going to go choose template. And again, my screen record software and Thrive are not playing well together. I'll go to my website in a second and show you that out. For my default page layout, I like to use boxed page. And this is what that looks like. It's just a basic colored box up here with the title of the page on there, and then just the content of the page. It's very basic. It's all you really need. For the post, I like to use the split top post layout. And this is what the split top post looks like. As you can see, it splits with your featured image. It has your title up here in this nice little graphic, and then the content is down and it's nice and rich here with the sidebar. And as for the home page, I like to use the content focused home page. And this is what that page looks like. It's a nice opt-in section here at the top to gather leads. And then it's just essentially listing all of your blog posts. There's another lead magnet here that you can grab leads from. And then if you come down, it's going to categorize by subject. As I add posts, as I add subjects, this page is going to get longer and longer. But it's a very simple page where someone, if they land on your page, they can just start reading your stuff. After we're done with templates, we're going to come down here to site speed. And up here, minification and caching. If you already have WP Rocket installed, there should be a little button here that says configure for WP Rocket. You're going to click that, and it's going to automatically change all of the settings so that your site runs as fast as it can with WP Rocket. Next one over here, image optimization. Because we have a Magify, there really isn't too much to do here. And then the last thing here in speed is accelerated mobile pages. These settings are going to make sure that your website runs fast when someone's surfing Google on their phone. When you get to the page, this is going to be unchecked. So you want to check to enable accelerated mobile pages, and then come down and check all of these boxes, posts, pages, and landing pages. That way everything runs fast on somebody's phone. And then for all these other two boxes, I'll leave them unchecked. And there you have it. Thrive Themes is totally installed and now configured and set up, and your website should look beautiful. All you have to do now is just start writing and filling it out with content. In this video, we're going to set up two of our most important SEO tools, one of those being the Rank Math plugin that we installed in a previous video, and the second one being Google's Search Console. Now, we installed Rank Math because it's going to send a lot of pertinent site information about our website over to Google to get indexed. Once Google will index our website, it'll be able to show up in search if it's relevant or if it matches certain search terms. In addition to that, Rank Math will also tell us how optimized our articles are for a given keyword. I'm going to show you how to set all of that up here in a minute. And we're going to set up Google Search Console because that's going to let us know how our site is doing in search, what keywords we're ranking for, how many times are we showing up in Google, how many people are clicking on it, so on and so forth. They're pretty simple to set up, so without any further ado, let's hop into my computer. I'll show you how to do it. All right, so before we get started, we're going to want to log in three different places. First one's going to be our Namecheap account. The second one here is going to be our WordPress backend, which is our domain name /WP admin. And then the last spot that we're going to want to get logged in or create an account is at search.google.com. I'll have links below this video leading directly to these websites. Now, the first thing we're going to set up is our Google Search Console because it's going to make Rank Math setup a little bit easier. In order to set up your Google Search Console, all you're going to need is a Google account. So if you already have one, great. You're going to log in with your existing Google account to hop into Google Search Console. Now, when you get to Google Search Console, this screen's probably going to be blank. So we're going to go right up here to the top left where it says Search Property, come down and click the little button here that says Add Property. We're going to click on that. I'm going to add a fictitious website here to kind of show you the process. You're going to want to work here on the left side in domain property because that's going to index every single page that's on your domain name. So we're going to enter our domain name here, and then we're going to hit continue. Now it's going to try to verify ownership there. After it tries to verify ownership, it's going to come back to this screen. What you're going to do now is you're going to take a little piece of code that Google gives you, and you're going to add a new text record to your DNS records over at Cloudflare. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to grab this little Google site verification, this random bit of code. We're going to click copy, and then we're going to come on over to Cloudflare. Once we're on Cloudflare, we're going to actually select the website. And then once our website is selected, we're going to go right up here to this blue box that says DNS. We're going to click this up here. Once we're into our DNS records on Cloudflare, we're going to click this little blue button here that says Add Record. And if you go back to Google Search Console, it's going to tell you to add a TXT record right over here. So over on Cloudflare, this little drop-down menu here where it says Type of Record, click on that, scroll down, and you're going to see where it says TXT. Click on that. And where it says here for name, we're going to click the @ symbol, which means it's going to verify everything on our domain. And now here where it says content, we're going to click here, paste it, and then we're going to click save. After we hit the save button, it's going to create a record. You'll see one on your website down here, a TXT record with the Google site verification text right through there. When that's done, you're going to head back on over to Google Search Console. Once you come back over to Google Search Console, you're going to click this verify button. Once you click that verify button, you'll get a big check mark showing that your domain is verified. If it's not, you might have to wait up to an hour for things to propagate. After you verify your domain, you're going to be shown a screen that looks like this. Now, this is going to be very intimidating at first. I don't want you to get too overwhelmed. There's only one report that I want you to worry about for right now. And this is the performance report right up top. I'm going to click Open Report, and I'll kind of show you the kind of information you're going to learn from this. Now, keep in mind, this might take a while to start giving you data because it might take you a little bit of time for your website to get indexed in Google and start showing up in search. Now, I've already added a couple of articles so that you have data and I'm not showing you a bunch of zeros. But what you'll see here is you can see daily impressions is how many times your site has shown up in Google search. Clicks is the amount of times that people have clicked on it. So you'll see how many times you've shown up, how many times people have clicked onto your website, your average click-through rate, and your average position in search. And if you scroll down here, you'll see all of the actual Google searches that people put into the search bar that you showed up for. So for instance, for woodworking, I've showed up 1,780 times in search, and that's brought 70 people over to my website. If you click over here to pages, you can see where people ended up most of the time. As you can see, my Ted's Woodworking review page has shown up 1,800 times in search and 70 people clicked on it. My small workshop ideas post only showed up 6 times. And this will give you an idea of how good performing articles versus bad performing articles. And obviously you want to make more of the articles that perform well. Don't get caught up in looking at this every day. This is only something that I would set up and then maybe look at once a month or so. But once we get Google Search Console set up, it's time to head back on over to our website and we're going to set up Rank Math. All right, so once we get logged into our WordPress backend, it's our domainname.com/wp-admin. You're going to see a screen that looks like this. We're going to come over here on the left side, click on Rank Math, and then we're going to go into General Settings. Now, if it's your first time going into the Rank Math settings, you should be taken to the Setup Wizard. If you don't see the Setup Wizard, I'm going to show you how to find it, and we're going to walk through it together. All right, so the Rank Math Setup Wizard is on the dashboard. We click there, you're going to see a screen like this, and you'll see along the tabs up here, you see Setup Wizard. Click on that. And this is going to bring you to this screen. I'm going to walk you through the advanced mode, which will give you a little bit more things to tweak than the easy mode. We'll click here, Start Wizard. Now, this first screen is going to help you categorize your website. You're going to come into here, click the type of website that you want. business type, you want to find something on this drop-down list that's closely related to your niche. Down here, you're going to put your brand name here for company name, and then your logo for Google. And then down here for default social share image, add or upload file. Again, if you don't have one already, just go over to Pexels, Pixabay, or Unsplash and find a royalty-free image and stick it in there. Once that's all done, we'll hit save and continue. And then Search Console, this very top. Remember, we already hooked up Google Search Console. Once we log in with our Google account, Search Console will automatically integrate with Rank Math. There's nothing more for us to do. You'll see our website right through here. Come right down here, hit save and continue. Now for sitemap. Now what a sitemap is, it's a document that your website's going to send to Google, which pretty much tells Google all of the web pages that happen on your website. This way Google can keep everything accurately indexed and you'll start to rise in search rankings. Rank Math will create and send this document automatically. So when we're on the sitemap page here, make sure that sitemaps is enabled, include the images, and include all of your post types here. And same thing, you want to have your categories. Make sure this is all checked. Click save and continue. Now, as far as different tweaks, empty categories and tags, I don't want them indexed by Google because I don't want people coming to a blank page on my website. Make sure that box is checked. No follow external links, I leave that unchecked. And then open external links in a new tab and window. Yes, that's good. If I link to an outside source on my website, I want to keep my website open. Hit save and continue. And there it is. We're all done. Now Rank Math is set up and configured. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like inside of a post. Okay, so to show you how Rank Math works with posts, we're going to go up here on the left side, click on posts, click on all posts, and it'll bring you over to this screen. As you can see here, I've already written a couple of posts for the website, and our SEO details should show up here on the right side. These numbers here, out of 100 is the general overall SEO score, how optimized the post is for the keyword that you've picked. So let me show you how it's going to look inside the post itself. So you've got your post title up here, you've got all of your paragraphs where you work, you've got all of your little subheadings here, and then you just, kind of write your article. Then on the right side of the screen over here, normally you're going to see this on WordPress. Normally you're going to see this sidebar here for WordPress, but for Rank Math, you're going to click here and bring up the Rank Math sidebar. So to use Rank Math, you're going to create your focus keyword here. And then as you write that article, it's going to start checking that article against all of these certain parameters. You want to make sure you have the focus keyword in the title, which is right up here, woodworking projects that sell, woodworking projects that sell. Your keyword meta description, that's this little snippet here. You're going to notice that you'll have woodworking projects that sell. You've got woodworking projects that sell. It's also bolded here in your meta preview. So as you write, you want to make sure that you get as many check marks as possible and kind of just go through 62 characters long. As you start writing and as you start meeting parameters, they'll check, they'll go green, and then this score up here will rise. It's a pretty intuitive system, and if you can write based on those parameters, you're going to have a perfectly optimized SEO article every single time. So that completes our lesson on SEO tools. You can now write articles based on certain keywords, and then you can check how they're doing inside of Google Search Console. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you the basics of SEO keyword strategy so that you can start getting organic visitors to your website for free. So grab a pen and paper and let's get started. Now, when we're writing a blog, there's two main types of articles that we're going to write. The first are called informational articles, and the second is called money articles. Now, the money articles are pretty self-explanatory. These are articles where either you review a product, it's a list of products for people to buy, and the objective of that post is simple. You want someone to read that article, click on the affiliate link, head on over to your vendor, and go buy the item so you can earn a commission. Now, the problem with these articles is that they're generally based around very hard to rank for keywords. Because they're worth so much money, everybody targets them, and competition is fierce. So instead, what we want to do is we want to write these informational articles. These articles aren't outright trying to sell something, but instead they're trying to answer a question that's being asked. They're generally centered around keywords that are much easier to rank for, so someone can end up on your site. The goal for these types of articles is to answer a question that's being asked, and then at some point during the article, recommend another article, which is a money article. Now let's hop into my computer and I'll show you what I mean in terms of keyword difficulty. All right, guys, so we're here on a site called Ubersuggest, and this is probably the best free keyword tool that's out there. All you have to do to become a member is just sign in with a Google account, and you can hook it up. but you only get 3 keyword searches a day. If you want unlimited keyword searches, it's like $29 a month. But if you're going to pay for an SEO tool, I recommend that you check out Ahrefs. It's not cheap, but it's the best. Now, once you get inspired to write an article, I want you to type in a keyword and click search. I've already done this for a couple of keywords. So the site that I'm building and we're building in this course is a woodworking site. As you can see, if you just type in woodworking, a lot of people are searching that every single month on Google. But if you see this SEO difficulty here at 62, that's a very hard keyword to rank for. These are very hard to rank for because they're very broad, and you have these enormous sites writing content for that keyword. So what Uber Suggest does is it actually offers keyword ideas that are might be a little bit easier to rank for. So if you come down here, you can see woodworking, woodworking tools, projects near me, and you can see all the difficulties up here are all yellow. It's actually pretty hard to rank for all of these keywords. And it should be because they're very broad, and a lot of these sometimes will have buyer's intent. For instance, tools. Someone might be searching tools because they're ready to buy a tool. Same thing with supplies, same thing with a workbench. And again, everybody's going after those keywords, so the difficulty is very, very hard. But let's look at a keyword that might be a little bit more obscure, woodworking projects that sell, but it's still a money keyword. As you can see, it's not searched as much, but that's because it's a much more specific keyword. This is someone who is looking to create a project that they can sell later on. As you can see, instead of being 62, the SEO difficulty is 44. A little bit easier, but still very hard to rank for. So we're going to use the tool. We're going to come down here, and now you can see a whole bunch of different variations on it. And if you look down here, search difficulty, 44, 44, 43. But down here, we've got one here that's 21. Literally half as hard to rank for. How to sell woodworking projects. That's not a bad keyword to go after. But as you can see here, it's not searched enough. It's only searched 140 times a month. Now, when you're starting a niche website, you're starting a blog, you should be targeting what's called long tail keywords. Those are these types of keywords that are kind of very specific in their inquiries and are searched less than 1,000 times a month. That's pretty much all you're going to rank for as a brand new website, so that's what you should be targeting. So again, this 21 is a good, we would write this down as a keyword that we could target. Now let's look at another keyword that might be a little bit more specific. Is it cheaper to buy or build a shed? Again, SEO difficulties getting a little bit lower, but also search volumes down at 210. Again, because it's very, very specific. Someone's considering buying or building a shed, that's kind of a unique person. So if we come down here, you've got the same, all kinds of keyword variations. They're all about the same to rank for. Now let's look at another keyword, how to bend wood. This keyword is more of an informational keyword because they're not asking about a specific product. They're looking to find a process and learn how to do something. This is something that you might want to target as a newer website. Now, if you look down here, it still has 2,900 as search volume, and SEO difficulty is still up at 54. But if you look here, paid difficulty is easy. If you were to run an ad, you'd probably get some really, really cheap results. But we're not looking to run ads. We want to come down here to keyword variations. How to bend wood here is 54, but if you get a little bit more specific, how to bend wood steam or how to bend wood with steam, it gets a little bit easier. Same thing. I mean, how to bend a wood. People do actually search that. I don't know how you would work that into something, but that's literally has a keyword search difficulty of 7. Now, these are the most basic bare bones concepts of SEO. SEO itself is an enormous topic that you could do an entire course on by itself. In fact, I just took Austin Armstrong's course. There's a link below this video where you can go check it out. His whole business is SEO and growing websites for businesses. So if you want to get tons and tons of free traffic, go check out his course. Again, I'll drop a link below the video if you want to check that out. And that brings us to the end of the program. You now have a website that's 100% set up, ready to go. All that's left to do now is to start writing articles and start filling it out. I hope you enjoyed it and you got a lot of value out of it because I had a lot of fun teaching it. Take care.